Did I just watch the best Predator film of all time? First up, the synopsis. Cast from his clan, an alien hunter and an unlikely ally embark on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Now, that is a little bit simple. Let's make it a little bit more complicated. A young outcast predator named Dek, who travels to the daily planet Genna to hunt down the legendary Kalisk, the ultimate adversary, to prove his worth to his clan. I feel that is more suiting. Now, that is the synopsis. Let me tell you how Dek gets there. Now, this movie opens up with Dek being trained by his older brother, Quay. Now, Quay is on a secret mission. He is ordered to kill Dek. Why? Because Dek is a runt. Their father would not have him represent the clan. However, Quay feels that Dek deserves a hunt to prove his worth. Now, Daddy is mad about this. He pulls up, cowboy style. He's on his cycle, and he goes, the Akira slide, like, what's going on here, Quay? Why Dek's still alive? Now, Quay is trying to convince his father that Dek does indeed deserve to prove himself to the clan. Daddy ain't having that. No. He does not like Dek whatsoever. Now, he wants to kill Dek himself. Quay stands in for his brother. Unfortunately, Quay, Daddy like, hey, you know what? You defy me, you're gone. Both of y'all gone. One thing that we can say about him, that man doesn't have any favorites. But through the battle, Quay managed to save his brother, right? Send him off on a ship so that he can hunt the Kalisk. That is how we get there. Now, let me tell you about this film. Everybody always complains that there's nothing new in regards to the Predator franchise, but I must say, this movie introduced so much new. Let me get into this. I cannot wait. After Dek lands, as you know, he's on an alien planet, and he soon finds out that there's nowhere to step, if you know what I mean. Everywhere that you step is danger, right? Trees are alive, bugs explodes, and not to mention, the Kalisk is roaming. So Dek is put in a very particular situation. We see the Predator for the first time at a disadvantage. Okay, he doesn't have all of the tech. Yeah, he has some weapons, but he doesn't have everything that we're used to seeing the Predators have. So Dek has to build himself up through all of this hell, right? Something that his daddy never did, something that his brother never did. The runt is out there on the grounds, right? Earning his worth. Now, along the way, he comes across this android. She convinced him that she can be a tool, because Dek, he doesn't want help on his hunt, right? He's prideful, and I'm going to get to why that may have been the message of this film the entire time. He's very prideful, and he doesn't want to take the android, but she convinced him that she can be used as a tool. Thus, Dek brings her along. Now, throughout their journey, they come across all types of obstacles, man. Like something new in the franchise, razor grass. Like for real, grass that can cut you. Who thinks of that? Who says, hey, let's make grass dangerous? This film did it great. Now, that is one obstacle, and there's various monsters out there that they have to be careful of, right? One is the Kalisk itself, but there's other things too. They have plants that's alive that can paralyze you. There's big old birds that wants to eat you. So like I said, this film puts you in the perspective of the Predator in danger. Like for real, they did this so flawless, man. I'm watching this film and I'm like, hey, what is going on here? Why does everything feel so fresh? And talk about whaling. That's how you say his name. Whaling Yautja. Right. So their presence in the film is also there. On this planet, you come to find out that Whaling is also searching for something. I don't want to spoil it just yet. I'm going to get into it later in this video. So we have the Yautja Foundation there, and we also have this predator there. And you're wondering, what the hell do they want? You soon find out. While the predator was fighting that of the Kalisk, it was revealed. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. The twist there was done so perfect. All right. It was done. So I was like, wait a minute. That all makes sense. Oh, and another thing. I'm sorry that I'm all over the place. I know that I'm behind the 8 ball with this review, but there's a lot to talk about here. And another thing that I liked as well was the visuals. The visuals was so fantastic. The practical effects, the little that they did have, was nice. And not to mention the cinematography. Straight fire. All right, fire. Listen, we have shots of valleys, shots of mountains, shots of moons, broken moons. Dude, the scale of this film was so goddamn wide for a movie with $100 million budget. I'm like, hey, they need to do this more often. Everything was done so perfectly. And I know a lot of people may have a problem with the predator not speaking, but it grew on me throughout the movie. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved for Deck to be voiced by T.C. Carson or Christopher Judge, right? Kratos, father. I would have loved for him to have a human voice after a while, the android translating their languages between each other. I would have liked for us to hear him actually speak. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that may sound a little bit weird, but don't forget, the first predator actually spoke. All right. You're one ugly motherfucker. All right. They can speak. And it doesn't have to look funny. But this thing was absolutely fantastic, man. Now, the story, a lot of people may say that it is a weak story. Not to me. The story has very deep meaning. And I'm about to get into that prideful thing that I was talking about earlier. See, predators, they believe in the hunt, right? They believe in glory. They believe in faith in regards to that of their beliefs, right? But being prideful is one of those kind of traits that I feel that they have to learn to let go, as Deck did in the film. See, Deck was able to evolve because he dropped that prideful meaning in regards to their people. He became something much more different from them, right? He's able to think for himself. He understands what true loyalty is, right? In regards to that of leadership. And I feel like a lot of people may miss that. See, you can't always rule with force. Sometimes you can rule with compassion. And I know all of us, we're not used to that in regards to that of the predators, but we have to understand they can evolve. See, this film takes place, hundreds of years in the future. I feel that there's a reason why Deck looked different, and it's because he is evolving. All right, he has feelings. He can have compassion for stuff. All right, he can think for himself, something that a lot of the other predators refuse to do. All right, they can be a little bit more civilized. All right, they don't always have to be these beasts that's all about the hunt. You know what I'm saying here? I mean, they are very intelligent, yeah, they can drop those habits, but I like the film for that. I like the film for having these being a man aspects, right? A lot of people may have missed that, but it was all about being a man and standing up for yourself. All right, Quaid always stood up for Deck. It was time for Deck to stand up for himself as a man, and I like that. I love that. That was fantastic. That was epic. That made your boy O feel some type of way. I say yes. I feel like I'm watching Predators 1. I feel like I'm watching Predators 2. I feel like I'm watching old school Hollywood. All right. Tell men to be men. Yeah, he got a little bit of help from the android, but when it all was said and done, Deck was the one that got it done. And I like that. This film was fantastic, man. I can't wait to see it again. In fact, this may very well be the first film that I buy with a steel book cover in a very long time. That's right. This has to be a part of my collection. I cannot wait. I give this film a 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10, and that is very unique for your boy O. Everything about this movie was fantastic. I highly recommend it. I would say this, be open to new things. And when you're open to new things, you could accept what this film is trying to do. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to like it or love it, but I'm just trying to tell you, open up your minds about it. All right. This is a sci-fi movie, and I feel like the sci-fi is being done right here.